Hey everybody, welcome to TV Recap. We just wrapped up the 2016 Emmys tonight, and I wanted to give a quick video to go over the winners and my thoughts. Now, I know I originally said I was going to do a video talking about my predictions for the Emmys, and then I actually looked at the ballot and I realized I had seen a ridiculously few number of the shows to be able to give any sort of, valid opinion on what was gonna transpire tonight. So, the Emmys are over, and I thought I'd run through the list and let you guys know what I thought. Now, first, just a quick overall thought on the Emmys as a whole. I thought the idea about having Jimmy Kimmel host the Emmys was a great idea. ABC was hosting the awards. Jimmy Kimmel is their big late night host. He's somebody used to working alongside celebrities and putting the spotlight to himself and then moving it off to other people in short amounts of time. So I thought that was a brilliant move on their part. Overall, the ceremony seems to have been handled well, and it seems like there wasn't any big gaffes or issues that we see sometimes with the Golden Globes or the Oscars. So, well done, ABC. Now, for the actual winners, I'm actually taking the time to just work on this off the cuffs. I don't have any actual notes or a script to follow this time, so I'm going to work in the categories, and we'll start with the technical categories and work our way up to the grand prize winners. Now, if you're interested in just a couple of the awards or you want to know my thoughts, I'll go ahead and I'll post a link down in the description to each individual award with the timestamp so you can just jump right to it. Now for the writing category, outstanding writing for a limited series, movie, or dramatic special. The big winner tonight was The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story, which aired on FX this last year. This was a very compelling show and seemed to really capture the idea of the O.J. Simpson trial, and the writers did a great job reflecting that, so I don't have any real contrary opinion there. Patton Oswalt won the Outstanding Writing for a Variety Special, and to this I certainly applaud him. I've always been a big fan of Patton's, and I hope to continue to see what he comes up with next. For Outstanding Writings for a Drama Series, Game of Thrones won for the episode Battle of the Bastards. Now, if you've been following this channel or you know me personally, you know that the Battle of the Bastards was probably my second favorite episode of TV ever, second only to the season finale, Game of Thrones, which actually wasn't submitted for some reason. But then moving on to comedy, outstanding writing for comedy was the Parents episode of Master of None, Aziz Ansari's show on Netflix. Now, I'm definitely going to pile on here and say that is without a doubt the best episode of the entire series. It was warm, it was funny, it was heartfelt, it had everything that you could possibly need. And that takes care of the writings. Now on to directing, which is really difficult to do in TV because you don't always have the same director. You're always having somebody come in and try and fit the scheme of whatever has been laid before them and also still put their own personal take to it. So the people that win these awards are definitely worthy of that praise. Now for outstanding directing for a limited series, movie, or dramatic special, the winner goes to Grease Live for Fox. Now admittedly, I did not see that. I didn't have any interest in seeing it, but I can only imagine the nightmare of working with the logistics of a live musical on television. So props to Fox for putting that on. Now, outstanding directing for a limited series, movie, or dramatic special went to The Night Manager on AMC, another show that I missed out on. I didn't really hear a lot of buzz about, but obviously there's something to it, so maybe I'll have to check that out, maybe in a binge watch episode here in a few months. For outstanding directing for a drama series, no surprise again, the Battle of the Bastards won the show for Game of Thrones. Now, I've already given you my thoughts on that just a minute ago, but the directing and the cinematography on that episode was phenomenal. And then outstanding directing for a comedy series went to the episode Man on the Land for Transparent, the show on Amazon. A very highly reviewed show. I really enjoyed the first season. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I can only imagine that if it's winning awards again, it kept its momentum well. Now, moving on to the actual acting awards. We'll start with the supporting actresses. Now, for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited Series or Movie, Regina King won as Terry LaCroix in American Crime. I haven't seen American Crime this year, but Regina King is a fantastic actress, and she always brings a very pivotal point to whatever part she plays. Now, for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Movie, Sterling K. Brown won for his role as Christopher Darden in The People vs. O.J. Simpson. Now, just a little bit of a spoiler alert, which if you're watching this video, I guess you don't care about spoilers. The People vs. O.J. Simpson is a big sweep this year, and because it is incredibly difficult to portray real people in a way that is compelling and meaningful and doesn't just stomp all over them. So Christopher Darden, I'm sure, or sorry, that's the name of the character or the person. Sterling K. Brown, I'm sure, did a fantastic job becoming Christopher Darden. Now, Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series went to Dame Maggie Smith for her role in Downton Abbey that she took part in for 6 years. I started watching that show for the first few years with my wife. I kind of fell off towards the end and lost my interest, but she powered all the way through, and Maggie Smith never failed to get a laugh out of her. So a very well-deserved reward. Well done, Dame Maggie Smith. For Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series went to Ben Mendelsohn as Danny Rayburn in Bloodline. Now, I haven't seen Bloodline yet, like I kind of mentioned at the start of the show, but Ben Mendelsohn is an amazing character actor. He does fantastic work, and I encourage you to check out anything he does. For Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series, the winner went to Kate McKinnon for Saturday Night Live. This to me was the easy choice because anytime in the past year I have had somebody send me a clip of Saturday Night Live, it has always been a skit with Kate McKinnon in it. She is a show stealer to her core, and she deserves every bit of the praise she has received. And then for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, Louis Anderson won for his role in Baskets. Now, to be honest, I hadn't heard about Baskets until the show, until the actual Emmys. So I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about Louis Anderson's character, but I am actually excited to see this now that now that I know about it. So hopefully we'll check back in shortly later. Now, moving into the lead acting roles, the real meat and potatoes of the Emmys, I like to think. For Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited Series or Movie, Sarah Paulson won as her role as Marcia Clark in The People vs. O.J. Simpson. It is not easy playing the prosecutor in arguably the most famous murder trial in the past probably 40 to 50 years. And Sarah Paulson definitely looked the part from everything I saw, and I'm very excited to see what she did with that role. Obviously, it was very good. For Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series or Movie, no surprise, The People vs. O.J. Simpson comes in again with Courtney B. Vance as the famous, or rather infamous, Johnny Cochran. I'll leave it to you to splice together the clips of Courtney B. Vance and Johnny Cochran in all their famous catchphrases that originated from that trial. For Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, we finally get a win for Tatiana Maslany from her roles in Orphan Black. This is a sci-fi kind of show. She plays multiple versions of herself in terms of cloning, each with their own different personalities, traits, and characteristics, and you never confuse one for the other. She does a fantastic job, and I highly encourage you to check that out. Now, for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series, to me, this was another easy pick, as the win goes to Rami Malek for Mr. Robot. I'm pretty sure, based on the time frame, that this was only for his season 1 performance, which was outstanding, but he has topped his game in season 2 this summer, and so I look forward to seeing his name come up in the nominations for the 2017 Emmys. Now, for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, we get a 5th straight win from Julia Louis-Dreyfus for her role as Selena Meyer in Veep. Now, some people might say that 5 in a row is a bit overstated, but I think that just goes to show how good she actually is. Anytime I see an episode of Veep, I forget that I'm watching the woman that I found through Seinfeld, and she just becomes this character. It is shocking how easy she slipped into that character, and she deserves every bit of that award. And then for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, the winner goes to Jeffrey Tambor for his role in Transparent on Amazon. Now, I didn't look this up before I shot this video, and I feel a little foolish admitting that, but I believe he won that last year as well. And a fantastic job working as a trans parent and transitioning from a male to a female gender. Jeffrey Tambor is always a brilliant actor. He does fantastic work. Congratulations to Jeffrey. Now, moving on to the actual series awards, which I think most people tune in for. First, for Outstanding Reality Competition Program, the award went to The Voice on NBC. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of these singing competition or talent competition shows. I was really pulling for The Amazing Race with their really innovative take on social media stars series, hashtag Bernie and Ashley. But I'm sure The Voice pulls in the ratings. It definitely always seems to keep things cycling about with its judges, so NBC definitely knows what they're doing on that front. Now, for Outstanding Television Movie, it went to Sherlock, The Abominable Bride. Now, if you're not familiar with the new reimagined Sherlock, it basically places Sherlock and Dr. Watson in the 21st century. Everything is modern. He works through texting and the internet. It's a great take on the series. They've done 3 series for BBC, which are really just 3 movie-length episodes, but they did a one special one-off, and this time it was actually, funnily enough, set in the Victorian era, so we actually got to see them in the original character versions of Sherlock and Dr. Watson. If you haven't seen it yet, I believe it is available on Netflix. If it's not, I'm sure it will be available soon with the rest of Sherlock. Otherwise, I definitely encourage you to go pick this up or rent it from iTunes or Amazon. It is definitely worth your couple of dollars. Now, for the Outstanding Limited Series, based on the acting awards, it should be no surprise that The People versus O.J. Simpson won. Again, it's hard to kind of get out of the steamroller of the most compelling legal drama in recent memory. And this just was the cake topper. It'll be interesting to see if this starts any sort of trends, if we see anybody bringing in other legal type scenes or scenarios. I think it's only a matter of time before we get a dramatic retelling of the Stephen Avery case made famous by Netflix's Making a Murderer last year. Now, for Outstanding Variety Sketch Series, went to Key and Peele from Comedy Central. They wrapped up their final season. I can't think of a better, more deserving sketch show for this award because, to be honest, Key and Peele took a formula that was pretty much pioneered by Dave Chappelle, at least in the modern era, and was copied by so many different comedians, and they took it and they made it completely different. And they've executed every skit well. I've never seen an episode of that show that I didn't think was absolutely hilarious. Congratulations, guys. I can't wait to see what you do next because I haven't seen Keanu yet. Now, for Outstanding Variety Talk Series, the clear winner was Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. John Oliver, being the alum from The Daily Show, managed to take that formula, turn it on its head just a little bit, and he does his standard jokes about the world economy and the world political news. But the big hard-hitting parts of the show is, instead of spending about 5 to 10 minutes of a segment talking about a main issue, he spends about 20 minutes every episode going over a serious issue, whether it's women's health rights or voting records or car loan scams, all the way down to just, everything that's wrong with this year's election, which I think would probably just dominate his entire show if he wanted it to. So congratulations, John. John Oliver's on a break until September 24th. Until then, I encourage you to catch up on his back catalog. Still worth a look because not a lot of his issues tend to go away right after he covers them. And I encourage you all to check him out when he comes back on the 24th. Now, for Outstanding Comedy Series, the winner was Veep on HBO. Again, extremely funny series. Julia Louis-Dreyfus just absorbs herself into the character. If you looked at the actual ballot, there were a number of other actors. I think we had 2 supporting actors nominated in Tony Hale and Matt Walsh. And I'm blanking on her name. Excuse me, I have it here somewhere. Anna Chlumsky also got nominated as a supporting actress. So this show was a very well-rounded cast of characters, very well-written, very sharp, fast-paced, and I definitely encourage you to check it out along with its sort of tie-in or, companion comedy, Silicon Valley on HBO. Both are fantastic. And then finally, the big winner of the night, Outstanding Drama Series, goes to Game of Thrones on HBO. I don't think this was a surprise to anybody. I think everybody expected this because, as I have been going on record to state on this very YouTube channel, I think this last season of Game of Thrones is possibly the greatest season of television I have ever seen, and I don't know if anything will top it. I'm a little bit nervous that even season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones are going to do it, honestly. But those are my thoughts on the 2016 Emmys. If you're still with me, thank you for watching all the way through. If you're new to the channel and you came here through the Emmys, welcome. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel by clicking right about here to catch up on all my news about upcoming TV shows, recaps, and weekly discussions on certain television series. Coming up in the next couple days, I'll have a What to Watch episode covering all of the returning shows and which ones I think you definitely should check out for the 2016 fall premiere season. And then later in this next week, I'll have a one-on-one discussion with a guest about season 2 of The Flash as we get ready for season 3. Following that, keep on the lookout for little short videos popping up here and there about all of the new premieres that came out this fall. I'm going to try and watch as many as I can and give you guys short little 2 to 3 minute thoughts on the episodes and whether I think it's something you should stick with or whether it's something that you should just skip over entirely. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night, and I will see you soon.